Hey guys, welcome back to some more Pikmin. We have pretty much everything but one ship part, but we're not ready for our final trial yet. There's a couple other things we need.
Oh no.
So today's just basically optional day. We're gonna just be doing a whole bunch of stuff in previous areas that are not necessary to complete the game at all. It's just showing other enemies we haven't fought yet at this point.
Padding montage!
Also, by the end of this, you're not going to be seeing any changes with my Pikmin numbers between this video and then the final part, because for doing this, I just keep on doing day resets to show the areas, so whatever Pikmin get lost or gained, we don't keep.
That's a lot
Lester.
of blues.
That's a bad, Lester. You need to show off every day.
Oh, we are showing every day, just every day multiple times.
Oh hey, want more nectar?
Ah, we're good this time.
I'm seeing a lot of leaves.
Eh, be fine. It'll be fine.
It's
Lester
fine.
puts
It's fine.
John
It's
Cena,
fine.
puts the John Cena green screen and just, come up and says, "Are you sure about
Are
that?"
you sure about that?
No, we're actually fine with this one, because we're barely moving past base. So nothing here, and then all of a sudden a water puddle just appears and murders Olimar. Yeah, this is our optional enemy here that only appears in odd days. So this is the Ghoulix. No reason really to fight this thing. It is, for the most part, harmless if you have blues, because it can't damage these Pikmin, but if you're far enough away from the thing, it's easy enough to dodge. I don't really see it as much of a threat. It takes forever to kill, because it has a lot of health.
The percussion you can make on the hitbox is pretty cool.
Yeah, the whole thing is just glowing red with how it's constantly active as a hitbox.
It's like, "Hey, I'm the Ghoulich. Have you met my cousin Warfa?"
Don't mind me, just taking a nap.
Love how the center core of it just looks like a lychee.
Yeah, the only thing that can actually hurt you from the Ghoulix is the center core there that was floating towards Olimar. That's its actual head. So yeah, the Ghoulix doesn't have a corpse, it just drops a bunch of pellets. So this is why I don't really recommend fighting this thing. It's not really worth it. So come here more on even number days, because the Ghoulix is just kind of worthless, in my opinion. It just exists.
Just
Yeah, I think that-
Mamuta is a much better enemy to fight.
But I want nectar. I'm not saving.
Kill the lychee monster!
That's really the only enemy that's here, because the clams are still dead. Can't remember if all those pearls come back or not. That's the only thing.
well, now we'll never know.
I think they might.
Oh my, yeah, that was a short day.
I know for at least the one clam that had the ship part, that's not going to have anything at that point.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much all we wanted to do here is just fight Ghoulix, which, again, there's not very much to it.
Him and his brother Morpha from Ocarina of Time.
Or, Vitreous from A Link to the Past.
That too. Nintendo really likes just water slime monsters with a core,
Yeah?
Yeah, pretty much.
along with their hand enemies.
I mean, even in Zelda 1, the Zols are basically the same thing.
Yeah.
So did we count that as a day, or do we just move on straight away?
Nah, because I went back to day 11. On the Wii version, you can go backwards on days, so for that kind of thing, we're not keeping the numbers anyways. We're just gonna pretty much just pretend that didn't happen.
Cool, all good. Well, I mean, like, because the Picklepedia is nowhere near as quintessential as it is in 2 and 3, because it's just like,
Well, this game doesn't even have a Piklopedia. That wasn't introduced until 2.
yeah.
So you're only fighting these things just to fight it. Like, there's no reason to.
Cool, yep, one Pikmin, let's go.
Yeah, this is all you want to take to activate the Zeg. Trust me, you take a swarm on this thing, they're all gonna die immediately.
Okay, so have you got all 8 of the magical instruments?
I mean, I'm gonna find the back way in, which is Just walking, what, through like a house or something, and then glitching my way there from like the original. Going into like a glitched house.
Now, Lester, what kind of noise did Olimar make when he woke up at the beginning of the game?
Oh yeah, that's right. His oscillation pattern determines my mace. I gotta pay attention.
Oh, of course, yeah.
So this may seem slow, but there's a reason. That health is at full, but the egg still shook, because now we woke up the beast inside. This is the Smoky Progg. This is a very dangerous enemy.
Isn't that? Hey, that's the very first spirit you see in World of Light.
It is.
Yeah, it is. I'm honestly surprised they started World of Light in Smash Ultimate with one of the deadliest enemies in the whole Pikmin series.
And it's optional. Here it's optional.
Yeah, it's a weird parallel.
It is in 3, isn't it?
This thing I don't believe is in 3. I think it was just this game.
Okay. Because I felt like it was at least in one of the Pikmin, but I couldn't remember. I will happily be wrong on that, though.
There are variations of this kind of enemy in other games, though. That's probably what you're thinking. So, the weird thing about this guy is his hitbox is very, very, very big behind him. That smoke behind him, that's not for show. If Pikmin are behind that, they will insta-die. Also, if Pikmin are buried in the ground, that guy does cry. That cry isn't a harmless thing. That will actually pluck the Pikmin out of the ground immediately so he can kill him. This thing eats Pikmin like candy.
He is basically a Bulborb if a Bulborb was made of mustard gas.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Oh,
he's destructive.
If you throw a Pikmin behind him by mistake, they're just dead. There's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
This is why I don't recommend fighting this thing, because it's not worth the payout at the end of this.
You've already lost, oh my god, 60 almost?
Yeah.
Oh my god, Lester.
To actually killing him even in like post-game content or anything, or is it just, notoriety at that point?
You're doing it just for bragging rights, because there's nothing really for this. The only thing you get for beating the Smoky Progg is he drops this little golden nugget, and that gives you 100 Pikmin. But as you've seen, I lost 71, so I don't really have much of a net gain here.
Yeah, exactly. The net profit is next to non-existent. Like, if you were going in with 30 at a time and you could keep it at 30, then great, but it's gonna use the whole day to try and actually get him.
Yeah. So watch that number go straight up. It's going to increase a lot, but again, we lost so many Pikmin, we only had like a net gain of like 29.
Yeah.
Watch it all. That sucks.
Yeah.
Arguably, I feel like you increase the casualty rate way more by going after him, that avoiding him entirely is just a better profit.
Pretty much, because, again, the net gain you get from that is not worth it, especially if you're not good at fighting something like that, so it is one of those things where it's too risky, in my opinion.
If it was a final boss, it might feel more worthwhile if it amounted to something, but...
Yeah, but sadly, that's not the case. Again, you don't even get a ship part for that, and they knew better, because if that had a ship part, oh boy! There'd be a lot more Pikmin lost in everyone's playthroughs. I don't think it would be possible to beat this game with 0 Pikmin deaths. If so, that would be one of the most stressful things you would ever do. So no thank you.
I wonder if somebody's done a perfect run, Pikmin.
Oh yeah, there's been perfect runs, I think, of all the Pikmin games. It's not easy, though.
Look at that red number go all the way down in that graph.
Yeah, it kind of plummeted there. So at this point, I just want to go ahead for the rest of this video, show off the other 2 endings, because we're going to be getting the best ending at just finishing the game. To get the other 2, the neutral ending and then the bad ending, you need to wait up to the last day of the game 30. And it is a little interesting for this reason, because it's kind of hard to do this. So first off, we'll show the bad ending.
One ship.
I feel like you can get either the bad ending or the good ending. The neutral one is, in my opinion, kind of hard to get. It's so specific. The Olimar tries to leave the planet, even though he doesn't have all his necessary ship parts. In this case, he just has the engine. Guess how that's gonna work.
I say that boy's about as sharp as a bowling ball. And so the three Steves looked on going, wow, he's as dumb as a bag of bomb rocks.
Yeah. Yeah, it kind of is.
Cue Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Gee, I wonder why he couldn't leave with just the engine. So this is the worst you can ever do in Pikmin, really. You can obviously lose more Pikmin, but 25 is the highest you're going to get if you just leave in the starting area. Because you have to get the main engine. It is required to get this ending.
Did you want to say it? No, I don't want the evidence of this on my memory card.
So, because Olimar can't leave, he's trapped on this planet indefinitely now. So the Pikmin do him a favor and take him back to the Onion. Normally in the game, this doesn't really amount to anything, but in the bad ending, it actually does do something. The Onion sucks up Olimar, and now he's a Pikmin.
He doesn't need the helmet anymore.
But who's gonna pluck him out of the ground? These guys won't.
Steve's just like, now what?
So now for the neutral ending. This is the in-between, so this is not as good as the good ending, because it's not much closer to it, but at least Olimar has enough parts now. He has the required ship parts, he can leave the planet.
Is it a specific number from and to, or...?
There's just specific parts in general, and we'll see it with the ending screen. Any part that's marked yellow, I believe, is the required ones.
Okay. So this is just basically minus the last collectible.
Yeah, to get this ending, you have to collect everything except the Nova Blaster, Space Float, Massage Machine, UV Light, and then the last item we need in the final trial.
Yeah.
So this is everything but 5 items, which you don't need these 5 to specifically take off. The rest are required.
Okay, and based on which onions you have found at this point, it will add in the other colors of Pikmin. But because you only have one part...
Well, because of the fact that this one, you have to have pretty much everything but these 5 set parts. Those are also in the Distant Spring, which you need blues for anyways. If you're getting the neutral ending, you're seeing one of each Pikmin color. So yeah, Olimar can actually leave. There's nothing stopping him from leaving in terms of his ship. A little anticlimactic, though, because he doesn't have everything.
Brings into question, you're an astronaut and you can't do basic addition. I'm very concerned. What? Why did we trust him again?
Yeah, it's a good question, because the guy should not have a driver's license anymore, after all the times he's crashed.
Ah, the third part is his... The 30th part is his L plates. That explains everything.
Surviving Pikmin, 982.
Yeah, so these are our actual numbers, obviously, before going to the final area. And on screen, these are all the parts but the one we don't have. You can kind of guess what it is from it being grayed out.
A blob.
Exactly. But that's it. The game technically does play credits, but we're not going to watch those until the next part.
It's Pikachu! It's gonna be bloody Jigglypuff, isn't it? Jigglypuff from above.
Oh, not again.
It's definitely Voltorb. Yeah, it was Jigglypuff from above the whole time.